Hey everyone, this is JVN's Politics, and today's video is going to be a little bit of a festive video. Happy Christmas Eve and Merry Christmas. Um, Today's video, like I said, is going to be festive. It's going to be an election prediction between Santa Claus with his vice president, Frosty the Snowman, versus challenger Buddy the Elf from the movie Elf and Ralphie Parker from the movie The Christmas Story. Mainly because I couldn't find anyone, and plus I didn't want to really do the Grinch because I know some people would be offended if their states would vote for the Grinch over Santa Claus. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this map underway. So firstly, Santa would do well in his home state of Alaska. I know he lives in the North Pole, but at the same time, he would pretty much move to Alaska for a good couple of years. And plus, it's Santa Claus we're talking about, so he would get automatic citizenship right then and there. Next, we have Maine. I believe all of Maine's districts would also vote safely for Santa Claus. And Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. Basically, the places where they get most of the snow would overwhelmingly over Santa Claus. And I also think he would do extremely well. Okay, there we go. He would do extremely well in New England because New England does get a whole lot of snow. But anyways, let's move on. So next, Buddy the Elf would pretty much do well in places that don't get much snow. He would basically do better in hotter climates because Santa can travel to those places. I mean, he travels all over the world to deliver presents to all the boys and girls of the world. But at the same time, Frosty can't go much anywhere with him because he's a snowman. He's a literal snowman. Frosty would have to be locked up to the north, to the states that pretty much border Canada or Alaska. So I feel like Santa Claus could hold it down, but like it's important to have a VP go with you in some places. Frosty would definitely help campaign in the Midwest and parts of the northern part of the West, but otherwise, pretty much going down south is just going to be a solo man Santa. But luckily, Ralphie and Buddy, they've been south before, and they would pretty much do pretty well in the Dixie part of the country. Not saying that they support like Dixie-like policies, but like pretty much this part of the country where it doesn't snow much, including Florida. Well, maybe Florida would be likely because Santa could do well with many retirees in the state. Given how old Santa Claus is, he's basically, I don't want to say he's older than, I know he's not older than like, he's basically been around for like 1,000 years. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. So moving on to the likely states, Santa Claus would basically do likely in Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. However, I am going to give it to Buddy, and Ohio as well, because Ralphie is from there and he can pretty much campaign all over. Also, Buddy does have great suburban appeal. And Ralphie does too, since Ralphie does live in the suburbs. And pretty much these parts of Appalachia, Kentucky and Virginia would pretty much be likely for Ralphie. However, I would also put West Virginia for likely Santa Claus because Santa, he would pretty much do well in northern Appalachia, he would do better. However, in southern Appalachia, he would not fare that much well, with Tennessee and North Carolina going likely. Sorry if this is odd, but anyways, moving on. Also, I think Pennsylvania would be likely for Buddy, mainly because of Ralphie campaigning in area. And New York would be likely because, not likely, lean, mainly because Buddy went there and he has family ties there. I believe his real dad, ran like a huge company there. So that could be enough to get New York to slide his way. However, in DC, they would heavily vote for Santa Claus, and Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey would all vote for Santa Claus. New Jersey would be lean, though, because of its close proximity to New York. So maybe that would work. Moving on, Missouri, I also seeing it being lean Santa Claus. It does snow there occasionally, especially in the northern part of the state, so that could be enough to get Santa Claus a little bit over the hedge. However, in Arkansas, we can definitely say goes to Buddy. Moving on, Oklahoma and Texas. Texas would definitely go to Buddy, along with Oklahoma. However, Santa Claus comes in with a little bit of a flair down here. In Oregon, he wins likely. Wyoming, he wins safe. Now, in Utah, I don't know how well Santa Claus would do with Mormons, but I believe that he would be just fitting enough to appeal really well to Mormons. And here we have Nevada. Nevada would be a little tricky, but I honestly think Santa Claus will be able to pull it off. Colorado, he would definitely pull off Colorado because of the ski resorts there. I mean, pretty much the West is known for ski resorts, and they would pretty much vote for Santa Claus over Buddy. Also, you got to factor in, Buddy has been known to have some scandals in the past. Like, for instance, he was violating animal rights by fighting a raccoon. Granted, that raccoon fought him back, but honestly, it would piss off a lot of voters. So I don't think Buddy would do well in places that have a high percentage of PETA organizations. But moving on, California would be probably the closest state out of all of these. I honestly see Santa Claus pulling it off, mainly because he would get the turnout in the northern part of the state and the San Andreas, not San Andreas, but like Sierra Nevada. Yeah, he would definitely get huge turnout in Sierra Nevada. And in the big cities, he would definitely he would either do well, get about even, or just slightly surpass Buddy in many of those places. Nebraska's 3rd district would pretty much vote heavily for Santa Claus, and the rest would. However, Nebraska's 2nd, I would see it going likely Santa Claus, mainly because Buddy could campaign there if he believed that he had a decent chance. Next, we have Hawaii, and this might be surprising, but Santa Claus would win here by a likely margin, mainly because Santa Claus often tends to visit Hawaii a lot. Especially, he goes there once Christmas is over. He goes there just to lie low, just to relax, whatnot, and the people are pretty familiar with him being there. And now we reach the final states, Kansas, Arizona, and Nevada. I mean, forgive me, Kansas, Arizona, and New Mexico. So, even though I did say Buddy would do well in many suburban areas, honestly, Arizona could probably go to Santa Claus, thus giving him 273 votes, and he win. Now, why does Santa Claus win in Arizona? Well, mainly because he would pretty much do well with suburban mothers in the state. He would pretty much dominate in Maricopa County. And I just don't think, even though Buddy would have Ralphie who would help him in the suburbs, pretty much Ralphie would help him in the suburbs in the eastern part of the country, not the western part of the country. However, Buddy does win in New Mexico by a very close margin, about as close as California. And finally, Kansas. Kansas would be lean Santa Claus. But anyways, this is my electoral map for Santa Claus versus Buddy. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Who do you think would have won? Could Santa Claus have won? Could Buddy have won? Who knows? Anyways, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm going to try to release one more video at least before the year ends, Which, hold up, by the way, speaking of it, like, oh, there's like 7 to 8 more days of this year. I'm just not realizing it. We only got 1 more week of this year left. But anyways, Merry Christmas, everybody. And I hope y'all's Christmas is going to go great. Let me know in the comments what you're doing for Christmas. I really just want to know. But anyways, y'all stay safe, and I'll see y'all next time.